So sometimes when we're doing a pulling exercise like a 2-point row here, it can be hard to connect to the lat, or like a lat pull down. It can be hard to connect to those back muscles. And so what I wanted to talk about in this video is experimenting with a different pulling angle to try to connect to that lat, because you may be thinking, well, how is that going to help me with the movements I try to do in my workout? The way it's going to help is the carryover effect, meaning even though it's a slightly different variation, it's still the same neural pathways going to the same muscle group. And a lot of times in my experience, all it takes is identifying a variation of the row, for example, and this can apply to any exercise. We're using just the row, for example. You find a variation for the row that allows you to feel your lat muscle a little more. And so what you can do if you have a cable attachment, I don't have one in this video, but just use your imagination, is you can do a low row. And so it's a little different than a 2-point row, because 2-point row, you're usually more perpendicular to the floor. With a low attachment row, you're a little more upright. And sometimes that can cause you to feel your lat more. And so just remember a few technique points when you are trying to feel your lats. The 2 ways to access your lat, the 2 requirements, is number 1, extension through your thoracic spine. And so if you will have a neutral or rounded upper back, that is quickly going to turn into an arm and shoulder exercise. We need to think about pushing the chest towards the attachment, or pushing the chest towards the floor, okay? So you want to feel your erectors turned on. And then the access point number 2 is leading with your shoulder blade. Can't really see it here, but hopefully you can. You want to be able to have access to your shoulder blade and then drive your elbow back. Because if you bend your elbow first, a lot of the emphasis is going to be on the arm. And then obviously picking intensities and rep ranges that allow you to focus on that. Because if you're going too heavy, a lot of times you're not going to be able to access the lat. And then finally, I'll show you from the front, we don't need to have the elbow completely tucked in. Sometimes for some people, having the elbow a little bit out to the side can help you feel your lat more. Oh, and then one more thing is the concept of over pulling. We are limited in this context by our amount of shoulder extension, right? That's this motion. And so what I mean is, a lot of people try to pull way back here and wonder why they can't feel their lat. Well, they don't have that much shoulder extension probably. So for me, I'll just show you, and this is not a party trick. If I really want to feel my lat, that's about the extent of my pull. If I pull any more than that, I still feel it, but not nearly as much. Why? Because I am beyond the capacity of my shoulder. And so you want to pay attention to your shoulder motion and the extent to which you can pull while still feeling your lat. Hope that helps.